Erie. Samir say, what's the good word, folks? Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the program. We're back at it. Let's go live with Lamont King. I'm your host, Lamont King, broadcasting live from Tiny Closet Studios, the command center for all of Tiny Closet operations, where we bring you dynamic programming like Tiny DIY and Tiny Kitchen, the 2-minute warning, and Tiny Car. It's good to see y'all, man. I hope you and yours are safe and sound and healthy and out the way. And that's real, man. Let's get it started, man. We got our little intro. It's not mine, but I like to hear this once a day. Just keep me reminded.
Freddie, Sam, Corey, Eric, Philando, Ahmad, Steven, Kenneth, Amadou, Jonathan, Christian, Terrace, Sean. Killed him the day before his wedding. Jamal killed him while he was in handcuffs. Mike killed him while he had his hands up. Kamani, Ramali, Philip, Alton. About 3 Kevins, about 2 Jordans. John, Laquan, Lathon, Stephon, Tony, Tamir, Elijah, Antoine, Isel, Terrell, Daughtry, Akai, George. For him, set the country on.
Not really like that's a song you can bob your head to, but it's just, I like to put that into the atmosphere as often as possible so you won't forget, man. So, we tend to let things go because other people say let them go. But I just want to put that into the atmosphere, man. How goes it? What's the deal? Today's Wednesday. Something on the calendar. I have no clue. I don't even know what day it is. But I do know. I don't know the date, but I know it's Wednesday. So good to see y'all. Glad y'all tuning in. If you're tuning in on YouTube live right now, thanks for checking the notifications and then jumping right in when you saw that we went live. If you're not tuned in on YouTube, make sure you go to my page and subscribe. I got a little thing going, man. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers on the channel by the end of the week. We're going end of the week. I don't care. We're going end of the week. 1,000 subscribers by the end of the week. I'm at 500 now. So just going over there, see Lamont King. You'll see the videos pop up and just hit subscribe, man. If you're watching on Facebook, give me a thumbs up so I see who here. Thumbs up. Give me a plus sign if you're watching on YouTube. Give me 2 plus signs if you're watching on Facebook. We'll do that. That'll help me out. All right, we got a lot of show to cover today, man. Again, appreciate y'all. This is completely viewer funded. Thanks to our sponsors this week. If you're interested in getting some promo ran or a sponsor, okay, thanks Hog Lord for the plus situation. Oh, I can see it too. I can see it say YouTube. If you're interested in getting your some visibility on your products and merchandise, we put it right here in the studio and give you some spotlight, some highlight and all that. We got packages. We're running packages. Our advertising packages start as little as $1. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, for as little as $1, you can advertise on the Let's Go Live show every day, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. For as little as $1. Oh, what's that? All our dollar packages are sold out. So you got to go to the next tier up and just DM me. Hit me on the on the back channels. And I'll let you know how much the next level up is. But all the dollar advertising packages are sold out. That's amazing. But again, thank you for tuning in. So let's talk about it. Whatever y'all want to talk about too, I'm gonna open up the phone lines a little later. So if you want to get in on the show, this is a live show. It's not a game. We're not playing no games here. It's a live show. So if you want to get in, I'm gonna open up the phone lines and we talk about it. And also I'm gonna switch things up. I finally figured out the false advertisement. Yeah. No. What you see is what you get. We're gonna do a little bit different. I found a new feature. So, again, working out the kinks, whatever. I'm now able to play some clips. So we're gonna go to the internet and watch some. I just had some chips. We're gonna watch some of my old clips. And we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna spend this time wisely. I moved the time from 4 to 5 because a lot of y'all was complaining. I'm still at work. Knowing you teleworking, sitting at home in your drawers. So anyway, Let's see what we got going on out there. First thing I want to talk about is these Confederate monuments, right, being torn down everywhere. So now the new move, if you haven't been paying attention, yeah, right now you can't even call. You can't, like, that's the whole thing with this phase 2 and the world opening back up. Like, hey, don't have allergies. Don't get the sniffles. Man, you gonna be losing friends out here, like, for real. Don't get a what you know, got a lump in my throat, or it went down the wrong pipe, or I got an itchy, I don't allergies. Don't get hay fever, because you be out now and get a cough. Don't adjust in your seat, or drink some cold Sprite and on a warm day and let that joint, you know how you something super cold you wasn't expecting to be that cold, and you take it and be like, you know what I'm saying? None of that, man. All them days are over, and that's so unfortunate. But yeah, man, I had a little chip dust that kind of was down there, and then it just, you know what I'm saying? But we good over here. Again, nothing to play about, but it's wild that that's how things are now. You ain't gonna be able to sneeze. Is your eye watering? What? Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? So these Confederate monuments all over the country, in major cities and major parts of now, if you remember, I believe was it after Charlottesville or after Ferguson? I can't remember. It might have been after Charlottesville. There was the conversation really gained steam, where people were saying, look, part of this country's culture and history of racism is honoring and paying tribute to these Confederate soldiers who or generals or whatever you want to call them. The flag on top of the courthouse, and the city, the state capitol, and it's embedded in American culture, specifically in Southern culture. People honoring the Confederacy, the Old South. But any student of history with any amount of sense is be like, all right, but y'all lost though. Like, where in the history of where do you see monuments to the losing side on home turf? Like, even if you the most slack-jawedest, country bumpkin from the South, not to indict all of them down there, but even if you the most unlearned, the most toothless, you got to be like, if I was to sit there and quiz you and be like, hey, pop quiz, hot shot, where, anywhere, after a war, do you see statues of people from the losing side, statues and symbols of people from the losing side on home turf? I wait. The argument is always, it's a part of it. What they be saying? I forget the word they always use. But it's it's a part of, it's heritage. That's the word, heritage. It's our heritage. Okay, we'll we'll go to the library and get like a whole heritage section and put like do like a plaque, but not my man in the on horseback in the traffic circle, not in front of the bank. I don't need that heritage in front of the state capitol. Like, these are people that represented a treasonous mindset. They wanted to go against the United States of America. They wanted to secede. So basically it would be the ununited, the disjointed state. Like, they were fighting for that. And we ain't got to talk about, let's keep it in the political realm, right? Let's keep it in the category of treason. Let's keep it at that. Not even, we ain't got to do race and the Confederacy. The South was fighting for slave and the North wasn't, because we know that ain't true. But let's just keep it on from a political angle. Like, they were anti-America. They didn't want America to work the way it was working at the time. So they were trying to leave America, and fought and then lost. Like, that's the end of the story there, right? So that conversation, it always amused me. And then after Charlottesville, you saw a lot of people trying to get at the statues in different cities, and then you saw the Klan and the the Sons of Heritage out there, 24 hours a day, guarding the statues and all that, like this really, like that's really, you really doing something. But again, conversation evaporated because it wasn't enough. Now with this national situation going on, that conversation is on full tilt, front and center. It's on 1,000. So you got people globally in London. I don't know if you saw the clip of them tearing down the statue of like a notorious slave trader who was also a big economic figure. So he had statues around town. So they got one of him, and then today I saw a new one. They pulled down another one. Now some municipalities, some jurisdictions, including state of Virginia and in Richmond specifically, are like, hey, we'll take them down because we get it. We understand. Like everybody's on page right now, which is another thing we'll talk about. Everybody's on code. So you got governments and organizations taking them down. And Leilani says NASCAR just announced that they would no longer allow the Confederate flag to be displayed at events and properties. And look today, check out Bubba Wallace, black race car driver who was one of the more vocal ones to come out. He said it has no place there. Now that's going to be a fight. Number one spectator sport in America is auto racing. And the one black driver that they have, or one of few, who says the Confederate flag has no place in NASCAR. Wow. Okay. Now, even though NASCAR as an organization is like, yeah, we with it, we're gonna take it out. That's a lot of bumpers, stickers. That's a lot. So, Shep Kelly, what's good in New Orleans? I saw that. Dr. J. The Marines said that they're gonna not allow it either. The question I saw in a social media conversation was, what about tattoos? So it's I think a lot of right now what's happening is knee jerk. It's warranted and it's knee jerk. So that's the how we gonna tiptoe that, because it's definitely warranted, long overdue, but at the same time it's knee jerk. And I say it's knee jerk is because it's contagious. Like we're seeing corporations, the Army is talking about changing the names of their bases. Their school systems, changing the name of their school buildings. Like, let's say there's a university that has the Robert E. Lee Library or something like that. I'm just making it up, but they, that type of across the board. But everybody's doing it now. Almost like, oh, this wasn't an issue a month ago. I didn't know that. That offends you? Oh, I'm glad you brought that to my attention. That is wrong. Like that's the part that gets me. Now it's wrong. So I'm not even going to be petty. I'm going to celebrate the small victories. But so I just want your thoughts on that. Yes, that's right. Baltimore was, so it was Charlotte. It was a combination of Charlottesville and the Freddie Gray uprising. Yeah. So that's what it is. But I just want your thoughts on that, because everybody's coming out. These corporations, like, big statements. Nordstrom made a big statement. Amazon. So Amazon, Jeff Bezos, I need you to find this too. Big deal, made a statement. So I wholeheartedly, full with all my energy and resources, support Black Lives Matter. Right. This is his statement. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. Jeff Bezos, founder and owner of Amazon. And when it was a lengthy statement, he posted it to social media, and people, now this is the richest man in the world, I believe, like the richest man in the world, and taking that position. Now we can debate. It's arguable why him, why now? You know what I mean? We understand the power of the spending habits of people of color. That could be a thing, or he really could be compelled to feel that way. However, needless to say, a lot of people on the internet, those not even closet racists, just those cyber racists who, would never say these things publicly, just went at him. It was like, I'm never buying from you again. And, F your drones. And I don't need, I closed my account, like down the line, like just hundreds of responses. And he was clapping back. He was like, hey, look, hey, man, that's one less customer that I don't need. So any customers like you, I don't need them. And I was like, wow, when you're rich enough to say that, you're rich. So that's interesting. Love to hear your thoughts on that. So the monuments, Amazon, a lot of people, and then the whole let's get into something a little lighter. So some of your legislators came out yesterday with the Democrats came out with a plan for police reform. This defund the police conversation is tip of the tongue, frontal lobe right now. Everybody's on it. I think I'm gonna tell you what I told in an interview earlier today. I feel like more of us that are using the phrase need to have a better understanding of what it means, because I think that in practice, it's not going to be what we think it is. I think we're using the wrong term. I think defund the police is kind of a I don't even know what's that word? What's that word? When you talk about, it's not a buzzword, but I'll think of it later. But I think we're not using it correctly, and most of us who hear it and respond is like, yeah, take their jobs, take their money away, and that's not all the way. It's more so of a concentration on reallocating of funds, putting money in other places as opposed to places where they are already. Defund. A lot of people are, and of course, you got the people on the blue side that's like on the police side. Now y'all want, well, you must don't want no police, or you just don't want police. Well, fine, tear up your neighborhood, and that's really not what it is. So I think everybody's kind of misconstruing. But yesterday, the Democrats came out with an action plan that included some points as far as police reform, and that's banning the chokehold, not shooting into vehicles. There was a couple of other things. I don't even want to, specifically. It was some of the things to me were like, that should have been that way. Like, that shouldn't be. That's a brand new suggestion. There was no mention in what I read with malpractice insurance and getting rid of qualified immunity. I didn't see that. If it was there, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see that, but a lot of the things were, kind of nominal, like steps in the right direction. But I feel like more could be added to it to beef it up. But here's the thing. The money shot was them coming out wearing Kente cloth scarves. Check out Seth Rogen's response to all that. I saw that he went off on Twitter, and that was probably one of the funniest things I've seen over the last 2 weeks. Anyway, so they come out in the Kente scarves, right? And so I'm like, I did a whole 2-minute warning on this earlier, and I'll post it later. But it was just that day, like in that moment watching it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, whose idea, whose man's is this? Whose idea was this? Kente cloths? Like, on some level, I guess it was an attempt to show solidarity with the culture, I guess. And like, people don't even really, all right, let me, this is just me talking. It's me talking. It's me and you. People don't really wear that pattern no more. Like, you might get the graduation joint, the stole, I guess is the tassel stole, whatever it's called. You might get that little scarf, but nobody's really just out here rocking the Kente scarf. You might get a fly hat that has the pattern in it. I've seen some blazers that had, the elbow patches, but but the scarf? What was they in the back room? Like, hey, turn this on real quick. Turn on Video Soul. You know what I'm saying? Turn on video vibrations and let's see what they're doing. What? Like, what did you Trap 1994 called? And they want all that shit back. Like, who? And then it comes out later that somebody in the CBC made the suggestion that this is how you should come out, and the solidarity, that you understand that the people and the culture. I'm like, nah, man, who's in charge of that? Rachel Dolezal? Sean King? Like, who thought that was the thing that's gonna make black people on social media or watching the news be like, oh shit, they with us. Nah, that ain't it. That is not it. So there was that. So let me run through my 2-minute warning. So as I looked at it when it happened, the empath Lamont was like, all right, maybe they for the culture, they it came from a place from the heart. I gotta respect that, right? Radical me was like, nah, man, this the bullshit. Like now ain't the time for that cultural appropriation and photo ops, publicity stunts. We don't need that right now. And then cynical me was like, yo, that's hilarious. Yo, wow. And I feel like in this day and age with social media and the way everybody critiques everything that you do, I feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? And I feel like you can't win. You really can't win. Whether you try or don't try. But today you can win. The cynical me wins. Cynical me got the victory. So I came up with the top 10 things that they could have came out with that was better than Kente cloth. All right. No drum roll. But number 10, number 10, top 10 things that they could have came out better than Kente cloth. Number 10, if everybody had came out there in like Tupac shirts, like from their favorite album cover, I mean, that would have been so hard. All eyes on me, Tupac just on the side. That would have been better than Kente. Number 9, if they'd have came out there with Flavor Flav clocks on, then I'd have known. I was like, okay, there's some black shit about to happen right here. Number 8, if they'd have came in like Michael Jackson breastplate, the gold wingy joint, the wingy joint from Remember the Time video, and they all came out, remember the time. I'd have been like, oh, this shit is real. Number 7, I gotta go to my list. Number 7. These are the things that they could have had better than coming out there in some Kente. Hold up, I wrote it down because I don't want to get them out of order. All right, yeah. Number 7, they came out there. If Nancy Pelosi had came out there dressed as Madea, oh shit would have got real. If she'd have came out there like Tyler Perry's presents Tyler Perry's Nancy Pelosi as Tyler Perry's Madea, I'd have been like, oh, turn that up. It's about to get good. Number 6, if they'd have came out there with F the Police, NWA playing in the background and come up there and grab the mic and start talking, then that'd have been better than Kente cloth. Number 5, if they'd have came out there with the national anthem playing, and they came out real slow, everybody with shades on, right, sauntering out there, looking like they was high, little powder in the nose, you know what I'm saying, playing Marvin Gaye's national anthem version that he did at the Laker game. Was it the Laker game? Yeah, in the 84 playoffs or whatever. And Nancy Pelosi just go out there, oh, say, can you see? I'd have known that the shit was real. That would have been better than Kente. All right, number 4. Scratch the Kente and get the Timberland boots and the Yankee fitted. That's more of a uniform if they'd have did that. Number 3, if she'd came out there holding a bag of sunflower seeds, talk about she like, we out here for police reform and spit the joint, you know what I'm saying? Then that'd have been different. Number 2, if they'd came out there with gold grills, I'd have been more appreciative. If like they said it was a suggestion from somebody in the CBC, if I was in the CBC and they asked me, Lamont, what you think? How you think we should roll out here? I said, man, put some gold fronts in your shit. Put get some grills in so we know that it's real. You know what I mean? That's all right. And number 1, the way they could have came out there, they would have been better than Kente. Might as well came out there with blackface. All right, there you have it, folks. Top 10 reasons that top 10 things that would have been better than Kente. All right, on that note, man, I want to talk about comedy a little bit because I know these last few shows have been really, really serious, and that really wasn't, when I started the show, that really wasn't what I was trying to do. What up, Joe Hill, New York? I was trying to, do something light and just be in your face every day. But all this stuff kicked off and it was something, things that we had to talk about. So I wanted to kind of lighten it up today and try something different. I wanted to play some jokes, man. I'm gonna play some jokes that I used to do that I don't even know if I could do anymore. And I'm gonna tell you why. The landscape has changed so much that I feel like moving forward when the world opens back up, comedians. So for the first 6 months, if you go to a comedy club or you see somebody on social media, they're going to be talking about the lockdown, right? Lockdown / racism. That's really all there is to talk about. But I got like 3 jokes that I went and found of mine that were kind of speaking to the moment that I think, and I'm not big enough to be to escape criticism, right? Like a Dave Chappelle. But I feel like people will be way too sensitive if I did these now. You know what I mean? So let me start with let's start with this one. Hold on a second. Start with this one. Let me start with 2 seconds right here. We lining it up. That's all. Ain't nothing. This is some new stuff. So yeah. All right. So this is me in New York about 6 months ago. And so this was what let me play this joint. Oh, where's that though? Hold up. Oh, here we go.
I did the Ancestry.com shit. Anybody ever take a DNA test? You ever took a Ancestry? Guess what I found out? I found out I'm 98% still likely to get my ass beat by the police. So it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Fuck out of here with that shit. Not doing it.
So I feel like, and that was one of my that was one of my joints. You know what I'm saying? My go-tos. But I feel like just in this climate, the stuff I used to could play with per se.
Project you got?
Like you just people was on edge and they don't know how to take it. Ice Cube got in trouble today, and when he wasn't doing comedy, but he just made a post that was vague, and we're gonna talk about that too. That was kind of vague and just if audiences don't know how to take it or they don't know where it's coming from, I feel like we're gonna enter a weird space in the near future where, especially for comedians and people like myself, it's gonna be difficult to navigate to try to, whereas somebody won't be like, oh, I'm offended. We're not doing that no more. We just marched for that, and now here we are back outside, back together, and you offended me. Here's another one. Probably one of my favorites.
Racism is annoying, man. I'm on this new mission, man. 2019, we start doing some wild shit. I believe, and it's just me, only way to fight racism in America is with better racism. So moving forward, I'm calling 911 on these white folks for every goddamn thing. Every shit. What they doing, I'm calling the police on. You be at the office party and shit, there's a potluck, somebody bring an extra I don't agree with. Yes, we had office parties. My coworker Samantha, she brought some potato salad and had raisins, carrots, acorns, wheatgrass, seeds in it. I feel my life. See? Calling for everything. Next time I'm in the public bathroom and I see Scott come out that stall and head to the sink and walk right past that motherfucker. In the bathroom. He came out of the stall, walked to the sink and walked past it. I'm here for my life. Next time I see my neighbor Megan kiss her dog in the mouth, the neighbor just kissed her dog in the mouth. And I just saw the dog licking his ball. You gotta get better without racism, man. It's real out here, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a little different. You know what I mean? And it could be different good.
Do you feel your whole life?
But I it's just with that one was such a strong. I've been doing that one for a few years, and it was such it resonated. You know what I mean? Like me saying, fight racism with racism, and now look at the conversation we having now, and what's happening. So it's and everybody's Judgy McJudgerson. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that in our industry, everybody is eggshells. It's an eggshell situation right now. So here's the other one, and this is what I used to do for my intro. So I think this one is interesting because I'm gonna tell y'all the story. I'm gonna let you watch it, and I'm gonna tell you a story about the different ways it has been received over the years. This is my intro. This is what I do when I come to the stage, or did.
Man, I'm on this racial harmony kick, right? So I'm on this racial harmony tour, and I see this is a diverse crowd. So I like to do this racial roll call everywhere I go. I see a lot of my black brothers and sisters in here. On the count of three, let me hear you say black power. 1, 2, 3. I see a lot of my brown brothers and sisters in here. On the count of three, let me hear you say brown power. 1, 2, 3. I see a lot of my white brothers and sisters in here. On the count of three, let me hear you say white power. 1, 2, 3. Good. I appreciate you. Welcome to the show. Right? You gotta watch your setups, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. It's a team building exercise. Welcome to the team. Glad to have you. This is about to be a short show in this one. As soon as they said it, I'll be like, thank you, good night. Security. I appreciate y'all, man. They was fast with it. They was quick. Y'all can see his face. He's like, no. I will not.
All right, so that used to be my intro, and let me tell you something about that one, which is hilarious. So I've been doing that for it's been years. I would dare to say close to 10, and that's one of those jokes you do on the road because I can't do it every time you see me. So if I'm local, you've seen it once, you're not going. It's not the surprise ain't gonna be there. But on the road, if it's my first time at the club or at the show at the in this market in your city, that joint hit. So I toured with Bruce for 2 years, right? And by tour, I mean I was an opening act whenever he had room, and call me and say, "Can you open for me in this market? Open for me in this city this week, this month, or whatever." So that's called touring. So I got to be in front of audiences that had never heard of me and experience places that I had never been, courtesy of being an opening act, feature act for Bruce, right? So I would do that one, right? And you talking rooms of 500. That was Virginia right there. That was Virginia Beach or Richmond. You talking about rooms 500-600 people in it. It's a great in your face bit, but when I tell you that I've been doing it for years, and I would say probably halfway through, maybe 4 or 5 years in, there was a swing in the country for whatever reason. Like I said, Ferguson was in 2015, 2014, 2015. Just Charlottesville was 2018. When I tell you the responses started changing just based on the climate America was in at the time, and depending on where I was, there have been places in the South and the North where I had to literally adjust the joke and rewrite it. So I'll just say I, as a comedian. So I got a punchline for certain jokes that based on audience reaction, I go left or I go right. Based on audience reaction, I keep going or I'll stop. So it's north, south, east, or west. That's how I work in my head, right? So as I go left, I go right, I go forward, or I stop. That's one of them joints where in my head, I come to the stage saying, if the white people say white power, I have to then say this. If they don't say white power, I'll then say this. It got to a point about 3 or 4 years ago where everywhere I went, hand to the man, I got a lot of them on tape. I say, all my white brothers and sisters in here, and I pick two, I pick them, right, and stare at them. I'll be like, oh, my white brothers and sisters in here, and give them that whole Damon Wayans from Living Color look, and be like, let me hear you say white power on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and I would breathe, take half a breath to let the room be like, bitch, I know y'all ain't crazy. I ain't gonna say it. When I tell you more times than not, they would say it. I don't know if it was the Dave Chappelle effect or just, with racism being a front and center conversation for the last few years, or just a confidence in them owning, or maybe even Trump. But when I tell you in the last 4 years or so, like everywhere I went, I had to adjust the punchline because they would say it. And it was weird because it'd be like that Richmond or wherever that was, the room was clearly mostly black with a handful of white people. So there's that. I'm not dumb. I'm not gonna say it in there. That's just the white person thinking. I'm not gonna say it in there. But then there's rooms where it was mixed, half and half. And then it'd be like, oh, I might say it just to be funny. And everybody would get it, right? So you had those. But there were some shows down south, I ain't gonna lie, not even stereotyping. But they were south of where I am now. And the room, because Bruce is such an icon, such a veteran, he draws a diverse crowd. It would literally be a super, super mixed crowd, maybe a third of each. I have a third of black, third of brown, third of white. So that's a pretty mixed room, right? And that maybe Texas. I'm thinking it happened in Texas, like both times I went to Texas. And you get to the white power part, and somebody in the back is like, white power. And like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I go in a whole different direction because now it was to the point when at the last few shows where I adjusted mentally and was like, okay, someone's going to say it. So then go in this direction with the material. You know what I'm saying? And that was like, that's a real thing. So it'd be interesting to see. I know comedy clubs are opening back up now. I talked to some of my peers who are in the industry who are touring and who are back to work. And, because comedy clubs, they're going to find a way to get you in there. They're going to find a way to make that money. They know how to flip that money. So, there's 20, like movie theaters, like 30% capacity. And, food is like self-serve almost. You got to, there's pre-wrapped and all these other little rules. I talked to my man, Hank Denson in Georgia, who does big work in the South. He said he invested in his own microphone. So now in his travel rider, he has, make sure that you have this type of stand because I got this type of mic. So he coming to the scene with his own mic. I'm like, damn, is that the game? We about to be out here bringing our own microphones? Goodness, man, the game has definitely changed. So yeah, there's that. Just wanted to lighten it up again. I also wanted to show you something, switching gears here. I wanted to show you something I was trying to show my first episode last week. Oh, wait a minute. Paul say, so what's the reply? No, so if they say it, right, I do the whole security, somebody come get security. It's gonna be a quick show. I ain't gonna be up here for long. Like that's the little self-deprecating punchline when they say it. If they, when they don't say it, when they scared to say it, then I jump on them and be like, yeah, welcome to the team. This is it was a team builder exercise. That's a setup. I was testing you. You passed the test. So I would do that. But once they start saying it, I've been like, hey, this place ain't safe. Have y'all been vetted? Security, you know what I mean? I'll do that whole thing. But it got to a point where towards the end, the last couple of years, where somebody always said it. Somebody always said it. April Sanpay, what up? Got to have you on here talking about vegan lifestyle soon. Let's do it. All right, so I want to show y'all this because this is something I tried to show my first episode a couple weeks ago. Because I got reminiscent when I went down to the allegedly when I went down to the White House the night before he did the publicity stunt. Because I was observation, I was trying to, journalistic capacity. I was down there, and it kind of made me remember of before Trump got elected. I went down there for the Roland Martin show to do this thing I call Question Everything, and was asking people questions. And I thought this was interesting. So it's kind of Throwback Thursday, but not. So I just wanted y'all to see this. Watch this real quick. Hold up, Joe. All right, here we go. This is called Question Everything. This is me in front of the White House in halfway through, I think it was June of 2015, talking to random people. And you know, I get a lot of flyers, man. I get the E flyers, I get the hard flyers, whatever. But I ain't never seen a he flyer. Like these are human flyers.
You know, like I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious, I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
Now, some people like their news one now, and then other people, they like their news two, just a little bit later. For those of us that get up a little bit late in the day, I'm out here at the White House trying to ask people about things that they should already know. I'm here to question everything. Let's see what type of answers we get. This is your first time at the White House?
Yes, it is.
So what do you think about it?
I thought it'd be bigger.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Then we're going to start easy, and then we're going to get a little bit harder, all right? I may try to trick you a little bit, but just not too much.
Okay.
Who is the current Vice President of the United States?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. That'd be Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Who is the current Secretary of State?
I can picture the face, but I can't.
Secretary of State is John Kerry.
John Kerry.
Kerry. Who is the 45th President of the United States?
45th. Why are we still on the 44th? President Obama.
Hadn't had him yet.
We'll find out in November.
Bill Clinton.
What day did Super Tuesday fall on this year?
Oh, it was March.
It was on Tuesday.
Nice.
Tuesday.
No, nice. Good save. That's a good save right there.
What do you mean, just like Tuesday? Or are you talking
Oh,
about?
nice. Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah. Ding, ding.
Specific date.
Yeah.
Okay. Tuesday.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised.
But it's on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday. Thank you. Thanks for keeping up. I appreciate that. What two groups make up Congress?
You mean the House and the Senate, or are you talking about the Republicans and the Democrats?
Oh, either or. Bonus. He gets the bonus right there.
House and Senate.
Oh, my man, you are on it. Were you like a world government major? Yeah.
Can't tell my secrets now.
I can't trick you. If Trump wins, name your top 3 places where you would like to live.
Top 3 right here in America. Canada, Japan, and Australia.
I would stay here because running away never solves problems.
Haven't thought that far.
You might need to real soon.
Curious.
Oh, well, you good. You safe. You safe. Y'all got extra room? Okay.
Oh, we got a compound.
Canada.
That's where you would go?
Canada.
Why Canada?
Because I can, step back over, whenever I feel like, when Trump left the country, I can come back over.
Kind of a dual citizenship type thing?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you should know. And then there's a lot more things that nobody knows. That's why I question everything. I'm Lamont King for the News 2 Later team. Yeah, so there's that, man. Just wanted y'all to see that because I was digging in the archives, and it's wild, where we are from where we were, and in that time, you would have never thought. Even me asking those people those questions out there, I know a lot of them would have never even thought it ended up where it is now. Had no clue. So yeah, I thought that was just interesting. Shout out to Stephen Golden. What's up? What's good, man? I want to get you on the program. Let me know what I need to do. We have some super convo. So yeah, all right. What I'm gonna do right now, open up the phone lines for anybody question, commentary. Hold on a second. This is Tiny Closet Studios. Hey, where it go at? Tiny Closet Studios. It's a one-man operation. Again, you see the ticker right there. So that's the little viewer support option. Cash App, $ Lamont King 06. It takes a lot to run this operation out of the closet. And we're looking for $1. Just drop $1. I ain't tripping. $1 is 20 people on right now. You give me $1, that's $20 an hour. That's you know what I'm saying? So hold on. So here we go. We're gonna do it like this because I know somebody has something to say, and this is a live show. And don't be all when you hear me on a big platform, a larger platform, don't be all like, oh yeah, I used to listen. No, we're not doing that. All right, so here we go. So we talking about the Confederate monuments coming down, renaming army bases. I don't know if you think that's a good thing. Are these big companies and corporations coming out with making these statements, these grandiose statements about systemic racism? Do you think it's all theater? Do you think is genuine? And what's really behind it? Why is everybody on the same page? Why is it all of a sudden cool to be woke and on code? You know, these major, I'm talking multi-million-dollar companies and corporations taking these super vocal verbal stances with regards to Black Lives Matter. And like a month ago, was it BLM? Was you BLMing a month ago? That's the crazy, like a month ago. So yeah. So open the phone lines up to that. What else? What else was? Oh, we talked about Terry Crews the other day, and the NFL. I reached out to LeVar Arrington today, trying to get him on to talk about Roger Goodell's apology and if he feels like it's genuine, and again, where is it coming? Where is it coming from? So that's the type of thing we got going on. There's something I saw today. Also, it was on Ice Cube, right? So Ice Cube, he made a post, and what the post was the so-called Star of David with a black cube on the inside, and he said basically he was alluding to wherever you see this black cube, you know, that means that Jews are running things. Hold on one second. Let's go live. Let's go live. Welcome to the program. Let's go live. Who's this?
Voicemail, press 2.
Yo. What's good?
Hey man, just calling to let you know I was at the event on Sunday and it was really dope. The brothers from Maryland, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, DC, were in full effect. Really peaceful protest going on. Just wanted to chime in and say I love the show. Keep doing what you do, man.
I appreciate that. What was the climate like?
The climate, it was awkward. I put it like this. Imagine you walking into a room, right, with all your boys, and then someone just yells out loud, "There's no peace," like that, and you got to go with it, and then you don't know what's going to happen after that.
So when you mean awkward, the way you felt or just the vibe? Like, what made it awkward? That's what you were there for, right?
Yeah, that's what we was there for, but it was just, you know, like you weren't expecting it to jump like that. You know, everybody, it was just going down, but when it went down, we held court right there on the corner of that where the church is at on Black Lives Matter Avenue, and it was dope. Like everybody fed into what we was doing, and they was really, really receptive of what was going on, and the brothers was organized, speeches were great, and then we went in, was impactful, and kept it moving from there.
That's what's up. That's big. I appreciate this, Chris.
Now, mind you, there was some differences going on because you did have your singers, then you did have your Black Panthers, you did have everybody else that was with the program, but you know everybody kind of joined up and did what they were supposed to do, and respectful about their position.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, I appreciate you calling, checking in, and letting us know how it was out there on Sunday at Black Lives Matter Plaza. I appreciate it. Keep tuning in.
No doubt, man. Peace.
My man, Chris. Yeah. So, and I saw some interesting conversation the other day too on social media. I think it was Ebro from Hot 97, and he was basically saying, man, these protests don't get comfortable because these protests are going to continue through the rest of the summer. And he wasn't saying don't get comfortable in a negative way. He was basically saying don't think that you know, it's going to calm down or diminish, and you know somebody's gonna come with a bright idea and we're gonna get distracted. He's saying like at this point, the momentum of it could carry very well through the summer. The only problem I have though, and I was thinking of this, and of course, if you know me, you know that I have a lot of left thoughts that come out of left field. And I was thinking, I was like, yo, you know why it reached this level? I think it reached this level in a perfect storm. There's been no sports. I feel like we got really, 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 really lucky. because people have been saying for the last 2 weeks, I just don't understand. Like there's been killings before and there's been protests before. How did it reach this magnitude? If you think, Google, if you think back to every civil unrest, every insurrection, every period in time, and then match up to what was going on in sports, I guarantee you, I can't do the math. I don't have it here right now. I could do a spreadsheet. Somebody taught me how to do spreadsheets. But I feel like since the 60s, since blacks became prominent in professional sports, and then sports became such a influence on our culture, I feel like that has been the number one distraction to you, to each one of us in our everyday life. And the fact that it was absent on a professional level, on a school level, and on a private level. So there's no sports leagues to watch. There's no college competitions. And then you in the house. So you can't even go do it. I feel like there's a thing that we're not registering. We forgot about sports. And I feel like saying all that as they're coming back and they're being rushed to come back, I feel like that's the only bucket of water that could put this fire out is sports. Remember the day you heard me say this. Save the tape, come back to it. Watch what happens when they start, because they pressed. Like there's already a second wave kicking in, and they're blaming it on America reopening early. But every report I hear, they're so pressed to get your kids back in school sports. I saw they laid out Montgomery County, Maryland's plan for school sports, and only parents can come to the games, and soccer, no throw-ins, because you throw in the ball from out of bounds, you use your hands. So everything has got to be with the feet. And football practice can resume, but no tackling, and no helmets. And I was like, all this is dumb. Like, let it go. Like, let y'all in a hurry to do that. I feel like that's going to be the number one distraction. That right there, because that's we're addicted to that, and because we, I mean, it's the difference between sports and exercise. So I ain't saying like I ain't being we shouldn't be able to go work out. I ain't saying that. I'm saying pro sports is the distraction, and when it comes back, all right, let's go live. Welcome to Let's Go Live. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Lamont? This is Alan the Smurf from out of Raleigh, man. What's going on?
I appreciate you, man. Good to hear from you, man. What's on your mind?
I'm good. Yo, so I like the thing what you were saying about sports, right? And I totally agree with you on that. But it wasn't just to me, it wasn't just a sport. It was the fact that everything has stopped, right? So it was like everything stopped. And it was a domino effect of you seeing the joint down in Georgia with Amar Avery.
Right.
You saw what happened in New York in the park with the lady just making up stuff about the bird watcher.
Right.
And everybody still sitting.
You went out. Hey, Al, you still there? Oh man, Cricket Wireless, what is you doing? I feel that. I feel that the perfect storm. I feel like what you're saying, but think about this though. Think about all those perfect storms in history that have happened. But you subconsciously, I know you it's gonna take a couple of days, it's gonna hit you. You're like, damn, he was right. Think about everything that even just goes on a regular basis that you'll shift when the game is on. Or if there's something to watch that is competitive sports. The fact that there has been nothing puts us all in a different space. And I feel like when that comes back, it's going to be another shift. It's going to be weird and it's going to be hard to explain. But I really think that the absence of sports, competitive professional sports, well, just competitive sports in general, the absence of that, I think had a lot to do with people's mind state, people's free time, and just look back in history and the levels of activism. We as a people kind of slowed down when we they made a couple of us famous. They made a couple of us rich. We assimilated into the American way. We were all pursuing the American dream, and kind of activism was like, yeah, it happens. Some of us is doing it, some of us not. But I feel like that distraction, that tie-in, our love for sports and competitive sports, I think is a bigger deal than we would be willing to acknowledge unless we studied it. So I'll leave on that. That's my little soapbox for that. We can talk about that later. I get an expert on somebody talk about the psychology of sports and addiction and all that. We'll do that next week on Let's Go Live. I appreciate y'all. In closing, I want to hear from our elders. We always leave on a word of what wisdom. This segment is called Hi Dad, and I want to hear from our elder.
Good afternoon. Happy every day to all. Over the many years that I have been in the struggle, there have been some words that I have heard that make me cringe when I hear them. These are the words uttered after a 21st century lynching has been committed. Number one, I feared for my life. 2, he or she resisted arrest.
All right, so let's try this again.
3.
Let's go. Let's hear from a word from our elder. No more calls. The lines are closed.
Good afternoon. Happy every day to all. Over the many years that I have been in the struggle, there have been some words that I have heard that make me cringe when I hear them. These are the words uttered after a 21st century lynching has been committed. Number one, I feared for my life. 2, he or she resisted arrest. 3, he or she was reaching for a weapon. 4, my body camera was not on. 5, he or she was trying to get my taser or weapon. 6, we went to the wrong address. 7, and worst of all, not guilty. Peace and blessings to all from Alpha Papa.
All right, that's our elder, code name Alpha Papa. That's his handle. Every day we're gonna end the show, or every so often we're gonna end the show with a word from our elder, and there's that segment called Hi Dad. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. I got one phone line, so we seeing how that works. I got to figure out something because all that ringing while other stuff is going on, I got to figure out troubleshoot. You know, we in the little tiny closet studio, so things happen on the fly. It's a live show, baby. I ain't tripping, but hey, Cash App Lamont King 06. We're gonna do this Monday to Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. East Coast time. I appreciate you tuning in. Please subscribe to my YouTube page so you can get the notifications when I go live. And look for my podcast, Whites Only, All Fun and Games, and Street Senators, also coming soon with new episodes. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe, man. And hey, you think? Let me see. Wait a minute. What's this? You think we're all going back to sleep with sports and sports betting when it comes back? I absolutely do. We'll talk about that on the next show. Appreciate you. Hey, man, be safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And if you do, don't say I told you to do it.